welcome back to the RV8SA build channel. We're almost done with the empennage. I'm going to highlight the preparation on the sub-assembly, getting everything final size drilled, and then I've actually got the left elevator all complete with the trim tab as well, so that video is coming shortly. In the meantime, enjoy, and I've got a little teaser you might see there in the corner that I'll also get a video of building that van's light box. Stay tuned, and thanks for watching. I've gone ahead and back riveted all of the stiffeners onto the left elevator skin. Now I'm working on the trim access plate here. So for the nut plates that go around the perimeter for the trim cover, I went ahead and dimpled the holes afterwards. I read about the NAS, I believe it's 1097 rivets, where you can actually kind of countersink the skin a little bit so you can end up keeping these plates flat. That's how I'll probably end up doing this in the future. But for this, I happen to have the DRDT2 dimpler. So you'll see as I get the plate on here, you're gonna get just a little bit of a bend and then it kind of re-straightens. And that's kind of where I stopped. So it's not maybe a full dimple, but it'll be enough to seat itself into the dimpled holes that already exist. And once these are done, rivet them onto the trim access panel, and then I'll back rivet that panel or reinforcement plate to the skin as well before bending the trailing edge. Now I've got the trim cover plate. I've got each of these. Now another, I'll call it new tool, is I've got the pneumatics, HydroPneumatic Squeezer. I actually bought it a year ago and finally got it set up because as you guys that have followed my channel have seen, I've been kind of playing hooky on the build here. Let me just tell you, so far, I love this thing. Now, it certainly doesn't do everything. You still need certain other tools without question, but it helps if I put this on the right way. But so far, it putting together the right elevator that I've done, it was amazing. Now I plan on at some point I'll give you an actual kind of a tutorial, so to speak, or a review, if you will, in video. Look for that at some point. It'll happen. Let's see if I can get this on camera here. Now the big benefit to this HydroPneumatic Squeezer, if you're not familiar with it, is it has the, instead of squeezing a length, it squeezes a pressure on the rivet. So the length of the rivet doesn't matter. So that's where it really comes in handy when you have variable length rivets. So again, I mean, in this case, not a huge advantage over the traditional pneumatic riveter where they're all the same length, but when you change up the rivet length size, makes a big difference. Now I'm just working my way around the rest of the plate nuts, getting them riveted on. As you can see, this pneumatic squeezer gives you a nice even and consistent rivet squeeze. Now just back rivet to the skin with the rest of the stiffeners. Next little project that I have is assembling the electric trim motor to the trim cover plate. One thing I just set out here just to kind of show you that it was kind of cool when I did the initial wing inventory. I didn't catch this, but this is the trim tab, what do they call them? The outboard trim tab horns and inboard trim tab horn that comes with the van's kit. And it's designed to work for either the electric or the manual trim. And based on which system you have is what hole you're going to use here that you're going to actually connect the rod for the trim to. And you have to cut along here based on which system you have. Well, it's kind of cool within the electric trim kit, they provided tabs that are already cut for the electric trim, so I don't have to do any of that trimming, which is kind of nice. I don't know that, I think for the manual trim folks, unfortunately, I think you have a little work you got to do. So for me, I've already put these brackets on here just to kind of get them aligned, but ultimately what will happen is I've got to do some layout on the trim cover plate itself because they don't have pre-drilled holes here. It's got some dimensions on the drawings, on the plans, that tell me where this left-hand bracket needs to lie. So I'll do the layout, get that left bracket positioned, and then once I've got that left bracket in position and cleco it down, then I can lay out the right bracket in relation to the left so that I know that I've got the exact spacing that I need for the trim motor to sit in there perfectly.
So here I'm just marking out the layout as according to the plans, making sure that I've measured everything and got straight lines so that I don't end up with a crooked trim tab motor. Once it's all laid out, then start match drilling the holes into the trim cover plate. Once I've got those holes match drilled, then I'll relay out the right hand plate in relation to the left, making sure that I've got my correct spacing. Again, making sure I keep those lines parallel with each other, again, so I don't get a sideways motor. Now we're back onto the spar, looking very similar to the right elevator, just getting those doublers on and the reinforcing plates. Now working on the counterbalance structure and clecoing it onto the rear spar. It's going to allow us to, again, final size all these holes. Fairly straightforward, standard assembly at this point in the process. Just time consuming to get all the holes clecoed together, final drill them, and then take them all apart, deburr, dimple, etc. So now I'm lining it into the skin. I'll get those final drilled as well. Once I've got all these final drilled, it'll be ready to take it apart, deburr, dimple, prime it as necessary so that I'm ready for final assembly. So I'm going to go ahead and leave the video here for now. If you like what you saw, like, subscribe, leave comments below, and I'll have a video of the final assembly coming out here shortly, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching.